South Africans lured into Russia-Ukraine war through fake job offers. South Africa is confronting growing concern over the exploitation of its citizens after the deaths of 2 South Africans who were recruited to fight in the Russia-Ukraine war under false promises of employment. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation has confirmed that the 2 deceased nationals were drawn into the conflict through a separate recruitment scheme and were not connected to a group of 17 South Africans allegedly recruited via networks linked to the Umkhonto weSizwe party. The case has reignited alarm over how vulnerable Africans are being targeted by informal and illegal recruitment networks operating across the continent. Recruitment driven by desperation, not ideology. International relations analyst Gideon Chitanga says the pattern is clear. After more than 4 years of war, both Russia and Ukraine are expanding recruitment efforts beyond their borders, increasingly targeting foreign nationals through deceptive channels. According to Chitanga, many of those who end up on the battlefield are not motivated by political loyalty or military ambition. Instead, they are individuals searching for work, financial stability, or better opportunities abroad. These people are promised jobs, employment, or training, he explained. They are not told that they are being recruited into active combat zones. He warned that loosely organized networks spanning several African countries are exploiting unemployment and economic hardship, luring citizens with offers that appear legitimate but conceal the realities of war. Government response and diplomatic intervention. International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola stressed that the 2 South Africans who died were part of a different recruitment drive from the group of 17 men currently under investigation. That should be very clear, Lamola said. They were not part of the 17. This was another scheme that took them there. He confirmed that diplomatic engagements between South Africa and foreign governments had already secured the release of several South Africans who had been drawn into the conflict. Lamola said the government's immediate priority is to ensure the safe return of those still affected. However, he cautioned that once individuals return home, South African law will apply. As and when they arrive in South Africa, the law must take its course, he said, adding that law enforcement agencies are on standby to prevent any attempt to evade accountability. Legal implications for South Africans. Under South African law, citizens are prohibited from participating in mercenary activities or foreign armed conflicts without state authorization. Chitanga emphasized that those who travel to fight in foreign wars do so in their personal capacity, not on behalf of the South African government. Nevertheless, he said, the state remains legally and morally obligated to protect its citizens and use diplomatic channels to assist them. Lamola also urged the public to exercise extreme caution when considering overseas job offers, particularly those advertising roles in security, logistics, or technical support in high-risk regions. These offers should be treated with suspicion, he warned. Money Trail and Wagner Group allegations. The matter has taken on further seriousness following revelations about alleged financial transactions linked to the recruitment of the 17 men. Minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, confirmed that investigators are tracing payments made before the men were taken to Russia. She said the Russian government was not directly responsible for the recruitment. Instead, attention has turned to the Wagner Group, a private military company previously active in several conflict zones. There were payments that were made, Ntshavheni said. Investigators must establish who received the money, for what purpose, and what was done with it. Authorities are examining claims that up to 14 million rand may have been paid to an individual in South Africa to facilitate recruitment. There are also allegations that recruits were forced to sign binding contracts before deployment. Political fallout and criminal investigations. The issue has triggered political controversy after allegations surfaced against Duduzile Zuma Sambudla, daughter of former President Jacob Zuma. The DA has laid criminal charges against her, accusing her of human trafficking and violations of anti-mercenary legislation. The DA claims it possesses WhatsApp messages allegedly showing coordination to lure men to Russia using promises of personal development, security training, and even foreign citizenship. Zuma Sambudla has since resigned as an MK Party MP. Party officials maintain that the resignation was voluntary and does not amount to an admission of guilt. In a related case, 5 individuals, including SAFM presenter Nonkulukulo Mantula, appeared in the Kempton Park Magistrates Court on charges of recruiting South Africans to fight in Ukraine. All 5 were granted bail. The Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, commonly known as the Hawks, continues to investigate the recruitment networks. A broader African concern. Experts warn that this issue extends beyond South Africa. Chitanga says African governments face a shared challenge, protecting citizens from exploitation while addressing the economic conditions that make them vulnerable. When they arrive in Russia or Ukraine, they find themselves forced into combat, he said. That raises serious constitutional, legal, and humanitarian concerns. Despite the gravity of the situation, analysts believe it is unlikely to cause a major diplomatic rupture, as individuals, not states, are formally implicated. What remains clear, however, is that fake job offers linked to foreign conflicts pose a growing threat, and authorities are urging South Africans to remain vigilant as investigations continue.